Hey everyone, it's Rajiv and welcome back to my channel Rajiv's Reviews. This video I'm going to be giving my book review of the second book in the Hunger Games trilogy called Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. So this is my favorite book of all the three in the trilogy, and I'm just going to warn you all right now itself that this video is just going to be me praising this book throughout. Like I said, this is the second book in the Hunger Games trilogy, and the story of course revolves around our main heroine, Katniss Everdeen. From the previous book, we know that Katniss and Peeta survived the Hunger Games against all odds. By doing this, they have unknowingly sparked a revolt with the other districts against the capitals from their actions. President Snow sees Katniss as a threat and he wants to put an end to all her doings. President Snow makes a deal with Katniss by threatening her. So even though they are not romantically involved, Katniss and Peeta have to put an act in front of everyone by showing how much in love they are with each other to avoid any further riots from the other districts against the capital. Because Katniss is not able to do this properly for a long time, the capital then comes up with the solution of the 75th Hunger Games. Yes, it's the 75th anniversary of the Hunger Games, and because it's a special year, the rules are that only the previous victors of the Hunger Games will be selected this time from all the districts to compete with each other in the games. Hence, Katniss and Peeta are once again thrown into the arena where they have to fight for their lives to survive in the Hunger Games. But this time, the games are much more violent and dangerous, and they have no idea what they are in store for. There are so many reasons why I love this book, so I'm just going to categorize it and talk about how much I love it. Firstly, it's the games itself. In the previous book, the story mainly revolves around the games and how the games work and the different strategies and tactics that Katniss has to come up with to survive in the game. The first book was written so well that you really do not know how the author is going to top that, right? But the author not only managed to bring the games back, but she made it so much more interesting and intense in this book. The technology is much more advanced, and there are so many dangers in the arena that pertain to all the elements of nature. And you really don't know what is going to happen next, because as soon as you finish reading a few pages about how Katniss deals with something, you turn the page and she is immediately put in another dangerous situation. Another thing which I really liked about the games in this book is that unlike the previous book where there were certain villains like Thresh and Foxface, in this book, we know that the main villains are the capital themselves. So it was interesting to see how everyone teams up together for a greater good and how the capital comes up with these outlandish schemes to get rid of them. Secondly, I loved how the world building progressed in this book. Like I said earlier, because the previous book focused only on the games, you get to know about Katniss as a person, but here in this book, you actually get to see how her actions in the first book had an impact beyond whatever she could have imagined, and how she starts to understand that she is in a position where she will never be safe against the capital, and all her actions will be closely studied and analyzed and decided by the capital. Because on one side, she is seen as this role model for all the other districts where they start riots and protests looking up to her. But on the other side, you also see how the capital is looking down on her and wants to eliminate her once and for all. So she really does not know where to go or who to turn to or what to do next. And you can also take this as a preview of what would happen in the following book, Mockingjay, when Katniss completely breaks down to whatever is happening around her. But it was so much fun to see how she starts unraveling and how she struggles with herself and how she tries to do the right thing for everyone. And thirdly are the characters themselves. Katniss is amazing as the main character, where she is strong and fierce and she knows what she is dealing with in the games, but at the same time you can see her struggling with her personal life and all the action that she takes and this friendship slash romance that she has with Peeta and Gale. Of course, I always loved Peeta and I always rooted for him to be with Katniss versus her being with Gale. In fact, at times I really disliked Katniss because of the way she used to treat Peeta, even though you know that he only had the best intentions for her. There are also some new characters who are introduced during the games like Finnick and Joanna and Beatty, and I thought they all added a very nice dynamic to the team. Image is hilarious as always, and I love how he tries to support everyone through his drunken behavior. In fact, I think I liked Joanna as much as I liked Finnick, because even during the games, you see how they are trying to help Katniss, but you also realize that there is this underlying mystery as to why everyone is trying to protect her, and how you also feel suspicious as to whether they are on Katniss' side or they are trying to put her in danger. Anyway, suffice to say, I loved everything about this book and I thought it was the perfect book in the trilogy because it takes all the interesting elements of the games from the first book and also takes the interesting parts of the revolution from the third book and kind of mixes them together in this perfect blend. And of course, the book ends in a massive cliffhanger that's just mind blowing and immediately makes you want to pick the next book, Mockingjay, and start reading. So yeah, like I said, I love this book and I would definitely give it a rating of 5 out of 5 stars. If you enjoyed watching this review video, then please do like, share and subscribe, and do check out my other videos in the channel. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take care, see you, bye.